Welcome to Module 5. Module 5 is kind of interesting because it seems like we're going off track. And bear with me because I believe that when we're talking about engagement, about creative thinking, we have to start thinking about the questions we ask of our customers, internal and external. What I thought I wanted to do with you today is I thought if I could give you some tools that will completely change your business, then I've done what I want to do. And I know you've spent a long time with me this afternoon, and I really appreciate it. But these tools, just to tease you, when I used them many years ago in my advertising business, it increased our business in 1 year by 20-something%. Just by these tools, these two tools I'd like to give you. The second thing is, it completely changed the way I worked with my customers, internal and external. It got my people more engaged, it created loyal customers for me, and the final benefit, it also changed the way I parent my kids as well. I like to look at it like this. I like to say that your customers have 3 mountains to climb. Now let me tell you a quick story. In another lifetime, I was a manufacturer's representative. It doesn't matter what that is, but 1 year the factory for whom I worked decided to get creative. And instead of bringing us to the factory to see the new line of goods, they took us on an outward bound experience. Anybody know what outward bound is, by any chance? How do you describe it? Anybody? Oh yeah, a wilderness experience based around a certain activity depending on where in the world it's held, and it's always based around leadership and team building. Well, the one they took us to was in Leadville, Colorado. It was based around rock climbing. Now, I have never in my life had an ambition to climb a rock, but it was one of those things where the company said, be there, and you had to show up. Kind of like some of you this afternoon. Thank you for being here. So they trained us the first 4 hours on how to climb rocks. They took the first 4 of us out, and they put us at the base of a sheer 90-foot rock face and said, you're going to climb to the top. Now, I need more of an incentive than some guy telling me to climb the rock. So I remember turning to Craig on my left. I said, Craig, I'll bet you $25 I can get there first. He said, you're on. So now it's a race. Forgot about the other 2 guys. Other guy says, wait, I'm in. Other guy said, wait, I'm in. So now it's 9 stories of rock and $100 worth of rock. There's an incentive here. Now, each one of us has a guide from Outward Bound. I'll never forget Joe, because Joe was my guide. At that point, Joe whispered in my ear, he said, Jeff, for $50, I'll get you there first. I think that's what the brochure meant about team building, right? Absolutely. I said, safe and first, you're on. He said, here's what you do. Don't let the others see. Right there, 2.5 feet, do you see that little ledge sticking out? I said, I see it. He said, when you start, stick your right foot on that ledge, and right here at eye level, see that rock sticking out? Grab that with your right hand. You're on your way. He said, next, and here's the key, Jeff. At about 14 feet, do you see that branch sticking out with any leaves on it? I said, I see it, Joe. He said, grab that branch with your left hand, pull yourself up. It doesn't look like it'll hold your weight. I've done this 1,000 times before. It will hold your weight. Next. And so verbally, he walked me up the whole face of the rock. Somebody yelled, go. I put my foot at 2.5 feet. I grab the rock. I pull myself up. I'm on my way. I go to grab that branch at 14 feet. I can't reach it. No matter what I do, I can't reach it. And as I'm trying, Joe yells at me, grab the stupid branch. I said, Joe, I can't. I'm going to die. I'm 2.5 feet off the ground. I have 1 foot on the ground, and I'm going to die. But it's my perspective. So as I'm reaching for the branch, I start rubbing my knuckles against a rock that's sticking out. So instinctively, I grab the rock, pull myself up. It holds my weight. As I do, Joe yells at me, no, 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 that's not right. I said, it's right for me, Joe. I grab something else. He goes, no, you can't win that way. He yelled at me the entire way up the face of the rock. I'm going to test you. You ready? Did I make it to the top? Absolutely. Did I win? Absolutely not. No, I didn't. And I'm still bitter about that, actually. Here's the point. I have to trust that Outward Bound has given me the right tools. They call them the belays, the ropes. Then I have to believe that getting to the top of the rock truly is my goal. But as long as I use the tools they give me and the goal doesn't change, who cares how I get there? So in this module, I need you to think a little creatively. I need you to be a little flexible. Say to yourself, if my people, internal and external, use the tools I give them and the goal doesn't change, who cares how they get there? So the 3 rules are these, the 3 mountains. The first one, everyone knows that every one of your customers listens to the same radio station, WIIFM. What is it? What's in it for me? Absolutely. And again, that's when we become customer focused, when we understand that that's the radio station that's playing in every one of their heads, internal and external. But the 3 things, the first one is a Stephen Covey thing, and I think now we take it for granted. The first one is that our people need to be challenged. We know this, right? And so we ask, how do we challenge you? What can we do to challenge you? It's the other 2 mountains that I'm concerned about. The other one is this. The second one is our people, especially internal, but internal and external, need to be listened to. Now, guys, I know this is a little fluffy for us, a little tougher for men, right? But our customer needs to know that we're listening. So I thought if I could give you a tool that will tell them you're listening, it can change the way you do business. It did for us. The tool is simple. It's a question. It's what effect? What effect question? How does it work? Your customer comes to you, internal or external, and they say, look, we have a problem. We're supposed to deliver this project to our client by November the 15th. It's already November 10th. We're not going to make deadline. So what do? We fix it. We jump into fix-it mode, and we go, well, here's what we need to do. We need to hire somebody else. We need to get more input. I need you to stay all night. Whatever it is, we fix it. Instead, what if you step back for a minute and said to the person, what effect is that going to have on the project? What effect is that going to have on the company? What effect will that have on you as an organization? What effect will that have on your family? I don't know, whatever the problem is. All we've done is taken it one step deeper and then step back to say, I'm listening. And you'll be amazed what you hear. You're going to hear things like, well, now that I've thought about it, or hadn't really thought about it before, but, and all we do is take it one step deeper to tell them that we're listening. But it's the second step. It's the second step where we kind of made money, where we increased our bottom line, where we changed the way we did business with our customer. It's this kind of it's the third mountain, if you will, and it's not good enough that we're listening. We have to tell them that we understand. And so there's another question. It's sequential. It's a question that changed our business. I'll show you the blanks. Will you tell me what the question is? There are two words that form a question. What are they? What if? Thank you very much. What ifing. I'm going to take you through a series of what ifing that will change the way you do business. And I am being recorded, so you can always go back and say, he told me it would change the way we did business. Let me show you what I mean. What ifing, we'll make it a verb. At its very basic level, it does one simple thing. It shatters the stereotype of the experience people expect to have with you. Do any of you have meetings, regular basis at your place of business? Sure. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to appoint somebody the what if questioner of the day. Tell them the night before we start the meeting tomorrow, I want you to come in and ask the most bizarre, totally unwork-related, unreal what-if question you can think of. What if humans didn't need to sleep? What if we had a 12-year-old president? No comments. Oh, I just had a customer who did this, and they emailed me and said, well, we tried it. Our guy came in the morning, and he said, what if hair grew inward instead of out? Maybe some of you know, you guys. I don't know. Yeah, sure, yeah. But here's the key. You go around the room, you have everybody answer it. Why? At its very basic level, what's going to happen? What can you imagine happening? Yeah, they start to have fun. And the bottom line is people who don't normally participate, aren't normally engaged, start saying anything I say couldn't be nearly as bizarre as what just went on here. And they start to get engaged. So let me try my favorite what if question, just as a quick break. At this level, I want some benefits. Ready? What if you had 7 fingers on each hand? Benefits. Type faster. What else does that remind you of? Piano. You could play like a 1-minute waltz in 49 seconds. What else?
More jewelry.
More jewelry. I feel like Richard Dawson in the old Family Feud. 100 people surveyed. How many people said more jewelry? Number one answer, sure, every time. What else? How about this? We can give each other high sevens, absolutely. What else? Climb a wall. Maybe they'd have to add another hole to the bowling ball. Think about maybe you could catch a ball better. You could hold more beer bottles. I don't know, more olives. I'm not sure. How about this? I'm not known to be the most tactful person in the world. Driving down here today, I stopped at a red light. You ever stop beside somebody who thinks they're invisible? Yeah, I'm looking at that guy thinking to myself, you know, with 7 fingers, he could pick and wave at the same time. It's just the way I think. Anybody from New York City originally? Again, New Yorkers have a different mentality than the rest of the world, don't they, Diane? I love working in New York. I remember asking this question years ago in downtown Manhattan. I said, what if you had 7 fingers on each hand? And the guy said to me, I'd name each one after a day of the week, Monday through Sunday. He said, when I miss my cab or my taxi in downtown Manhattan, I give the guy a Wednesday. I'm not going to demonstrate, but you're smiling. At its very basic level, that's all it does. It shatters the stereotype of the experience people expect to have with you. So let me take it a step deeper. Imagine for a minute I need to pick on somebody. So let me pick on, I've forgotten your name from Mirage. Trish. Trish, I'm going to pick on you because you're sitting back there thinking he won't pick on me. That's great. Good. Trish, you now work for me. Scary thought, isn't it? All right. Trish works for Mirage, PR advertising marketing company. So Trish, I come to you and say, look, I know you sold that piece of business, but we can't do it without we can't get the proposal to the client without your piece. What time do you normally come to work, by the way? What time do you start work? No, I'm kidding, 7:30. So I come to you and I say, Trish, I know you normally come at 7:30. I want you here at 6:30 tomorrow. And I turn around and walk away. How do you feel, Trish? Tired, absolutely. But would you do it? Probably. And then I come to you a week later, I say, another biggie, Trish. Thanks so much for about last week. I know you normally get here at 6:30. I want you here at 6 tomorrow. I mean, 7:30. I want you here at 6 tomorrow. I walk away. How do you feel? Did a Wednesday come to mind? No, I'm only kidding. The point is, this is the way I used to work with people. Now, I was far more tactful. I'm trying to prove a point. Trish, you're part of the team. Can't do it without you. Could you please come in tomorrow at 6:30? I walk away, and besides Wednesdays, they'd be saying, how am I going to do that? Then I discovered what if. Imagine the same scenario. Trish, big project, blah, blah, blah. What if you came in tomorrow at 6:30 instead of 7:30 to get it done? I want to teach you a very sophisticated management technique and communication technique called BYT. Bite your tongue. I can't tell you how many managers, supervisors that I've sat with over the last 20 years who ask a question and then answer it themselves. Instead, it's time to listen. What if you came in at 6:30? I'll make this up. Trish says, Jeff, I can't. I can't get my child to the babysitter before 6:45, which means I couldn't get here till 7. Could you get here every day this week at 7 and get it done? She says, yes, and if I can't, I'll come in late. I'll stay late on Thursday. What did I open up? A dialogue that I didn't allow to exist before because of the way I used to work with people. So I said, wait, if it works at work, it'll work at home. Big mistake, yeah. How many of you are parents, any age? Great. All right, we have used a disciplinary strategy in our home for many years called timeout. You familiar with this, timeout? My parents thought that we were totally out of our minds. Just hit the kid. Right? Yeah. But we use timeout. And I remember when my oldest was about 3, so she's now 24. I remember she was about 3 when I looked at her and I said, get into your room, you get into timeout, you figure out why you did what you just did. In her mind, very threatening. But then I started using what if. And to this day, out of habit, no matter how angry I've been with my girls, I always started with what if. What if you went in your room and you figured out why you just hit your little sister? In her mind, less threatening, and opens up a dialogue. Not that I would listen to a word she had to say when I was angry with her. Actually, if you have young adults like I do, it's now like this, right? And I say what if, and they say, I'll tell you why, Dad. And we have this conversation that just blows me away. Why? Don't what if you're not willing to hear what you're about to hear. You just opened up a dialogue. It's not appropriate all times of the day, but there are times with our internal and external customer where we should open up a dialogue. So let me take it one step deeper and show you how we made money. In my old business, which was the advertising business, one of the things that we used to do was promotional products. Give away stuff with your name on it, right? Logoed things. So one of the ways I used to sell was this, and bear with me. Bob, thanks so much for meeting with me last week about your trade show and what you should give away in your booth. We went back and we brainstormed. We think you should give away glasses. Let me tell you why. Because with the whole healthcare thing, we can put your 16-color logo on one side and your mission statement on the other. You fill it now. When they come in, you fill it with water. People are going to go around with a cup of water with your name on it. I mean, a glass of water. They're going to say, where'd you get that? At Bob's booth. Bob, what do you think? And you know what my customers would say? Great idea, Jeff. What else have you got? I'd say, no, you don't understand. I've been doing this for 20 years. What happens? We sell our ideas, our product, our service like this. And if we hit hard enough, we win. Instead, imagine the same scenario with what ifing. Bob, trade show, blah, blah, blah. What do I give away? What if you use glasses for your next imprinted glasses for your next trade show giveaway? BYT, stop and listen. I just opened up a dialogue. Bob says, I'll make this up. Jeff, I can't. I can't ship them to all my offices across the country. They'll break. What if we use plastic? Oh, yes. What if we use a plastic beer stein, Bob? When you put cold water in, the logo changes color. He says, what if we use our old logo and it changes back and forth, until when I leave, what does Bob say to almost everybody with whom he works? What do you think? I have a great idea, and I want to work with Jeff Tobe because something feels comfortable. Here's the thing. I walked in selling glasses. I walked out. That's not going to work. I walked out. You're all watching that. I walked out selling plastic beer steins. Why? Because in opening up a dialogue, we both agreed that plastic beer steins just might be the second right answer to the exact same challenge of what do I give away in the trade show booth. See, I wasn't trying to pull the wool over his eyes. I truly believe that glasses were the right answer. But if he doesn't believe it, it doesn't matter what I think. Remember the top of the mountain? As long as Bob uses the tools I give him and the goal, what do I give away in my trade show booth, doesn't change, who cares how we get there? Everybody okay?